Hello everyone, this is Delta Gaming and welcome back for a brand new video of Langrisser. And today we're going to be talking about the beginner's tips. Yep, it's finally time for me to discuss about what things you should do and what you should avoid doing. So anyways, I have a list up right here to let you all know what you should all do when it comes to starting out the game. At least there are five tips I like to talk about here. So the first obvious one is the stamina management. As you can see, the max stamina for me is 150, but for most of you it's 120. For like for most of you who are starting out the game, well, I would say all of you, I would say. But later down the road when you're playing the game, as you advance through it, you will have access to a building and floating realm, which will enable you to have an additional 30 stamina cap, which is awesome. And also later down the road, there will be an improvement for the VIP subscription or privilege, I would say, where it will increase the stamina cap by 50, which is awesome. So, anyways, the main part of this part is that when you're recovering stamina, always use burgers whenever you have some. Like right here, for me, I have 228 at the moment. And also, I heard some other content creators recommend you to use crystals to get yourself extra stamina. This is where I put my foot down. Do not do this because if you do that, you're wasting your resources for summoning per se. You do not want to do that. Like, of course, it's tempting to buy stamina with like crystals, but I do not recommend doing this. If you want to restore stamina, use burgers or salads if you have any of these. But anything about recovering stamina, the one thing I do not want you all to do is using crystals to restore stamina. Because for a couple of reasons, like one, you're wasting your resources on for summoning per se. Like crystals, they're primarily used for other things as well, like use it to unlock SP heroes, and also some other things such as summoning, of course. But other than that, I don't recommend you to use those crystals on stamina because that's just a waste to do. And also another tip is that do not keep your stamina at 150 like what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna try to drain some of this a bit. So I'm going to go here and then sweep just a couple times. So yeah, make sure you keep this running at all times, and the stamina restoration will be roughly around I would say 6 or 7 minutes per for one stamina recovery, which is not too long for now. And as you can see, this is the full stamina recovery time. As you can see here, this one tells you the estimate of how long, how much time does it usually take for like a full stamina recovery. And also to get additional burgers, you will get one every day when you do whenever a daily reset happens, as well as around 12 o'clock in server time. For me, it's 10 o'clock a.m. in PST, which is 2 hours away from join battle, by the way, which we'll talk about later in the video. So, anyways, that's the stamina management. So make sure you have the stamina running at all times. Otherwise, you're just wasting your stamina of regeneration. I would say. And also, do not accumulate burgers like this over and over because you're not generating new stamina, but rather you're just occupying it. So please do not do that. And as for number two, we got is the market, or I should say the store, for example. So the reason why I want to brought you all to this store is because there are some stuff that I want you to stay informed about. So in the store, you notice there are those things, right? Like these things here. Don't sleep on these because these ones are pretty important for your journey in Langrisser. Because the more hammers you have, the better you'll be able to progress. Like those hammers are pretty important. You will use those to upgrade your gear, that kind of stuff. You by the way, you get those gear in a later chapter. So yeah, if you find yourself in the store here, don't forget to get yourself some hammers here, and maybe some shards as well if you need SR heroes. But however, you don't really need to do the SR hero purchase, because you will get those from summoning anyways. But this is just one way to speed up their shard farm. But other than that, I really don't recommend doing that. But if you really in dire needs, then yeah, go ahead. But other than that, don't do that. But however, there's a thing like if you think, and also don't forget that there's a timer on here when on a refresh thing here. So right now it says for me it will be resetting in 1 hour. So if you really want to reset this like right now, it will cost you 5 crystals, which is not much, but yeah, just doing your own discretion. But however, the more you refresh, the higher this will cost. So I think that's what that's indicating. So yeah, think wisely whether you if you want to restore whether you want to refresh those or not. It's totally up to you. And also another thing about the market, don't forget to check the markets like the one that will appear like bi-weekly or bi-monthly ones. Like for example, the honor store, the training vouchers is weekly, so be sure to claim this one time per week. Otherwise, you're just wasting your attempts. So, anyways, be sure to buy this once per week, and also the SR accessory gift box later down the road, once per month. And then for friendship, don't forget to claim this bi-monthly, which is 2 Trinity vouchers. Doesn't sound a lot, but the only way you can get this token here is by, of course, uh, getting gifted by the friends from the same server. So you can add basically whoever you want in your within your server. But keep in mind that if you're trying to add someone from the server that you're not part of, you won't be able to earn those tokens at all. Instead, you will have them as a cross server friend, and they will not provide you any of these at all. So in order for you to earn these, make sure you have your friend list full of players. Like doesn't matter if it's like randoms or whatever, they will contribute towards you. But if there are some players in the game that are like inactive for so long, you probably won't benefit from those guys. You're gonna have to get rid of them eventually. But for me, I'm gonna keep them on my list as a legacy moment because it would be a shame if I just delete them off the list because that's basically dishonoring history for me. But of course, it's up to you. Totally up to you. If you feel like it's not impacting you in any way, then you can keep them as long as you want. And then for equipment here, for beginners, I would say try to get yourself some SR gear here. But if you have enough of those orange ores like right here, try to invest more in the SSR ones, while the silver ones will be for gold, because gold is very very important in this economy. So like if you run out of gold for some reason, you won't be able to do much outside of like grinding some levels. But anyways, if you need additional gold, I will highly recommend you save those silver ores for this, so that way you can have something you can spend with. And then the memory shop will only be active as long as you have a character at 6 stars already. And also, this is where you can extract extra memory. So, for example, I have all these characters at six stars already. You can extract all these into memory essence, like this one right here, and you can use those to trade some various gears, like and also some other stuff like, especially accessory, which will refresh every month. Same with the other gear. What I recommend for this shop is try to spend on this one every month, like 2 times a month, if you have enough resources. That is, but this only applies to those who are playing in late games or anybody that's like have one character at 6 stars already. Okay, number 3 is daily missions. I believe this is one thing I should probably throw out there first before the other two. So daily missions is pretty important when it comes to completion. So if you complete all of these, you get 30 of these crystals here, which is pretty important because you're gonna need to build up your Trinity stash, like no matter what. Like you're gonna need to increase your stash, so that way you can summon for whoever you want in the future. So be sure to do this every day to get yourself some free crystals, of course. But if you really want to be a subscriber, you get 50 additional crystals at the start of your day, which is nice. And as a subscriber, you can almost have like the amount of like 1 Trinity summon, which is nice value, I would say. And finally, on number 4, we have joint and team battle a topic. So That in Sacred Realm, there are actually some battles where you can do in teams. Like for example, Anarchy Gym, you can do in teams. Like any of these modes aside from the challenge ones, such as Timeless Trials, the Eternal Temple, the Way of the Laws, and of course, Kingdom Aurora is single target oriented. All the four modes down here are challenge stages, so you won't be able to do teams on those ones. But the first half of these, like the first four, excluding the stolen treasure, uh, the, these ones can be done in teams. So if you're currently stuck in certain levels, just do a team battle and they will be able to carry for you, as long as you have that stage unlocked for yourself. That is. And by the way, when you clear those stages in solo, you'll get your hand on this buff here, which will allow you to sweep as well as give yourself like a stat increase bonus. On top of that, after battle, you will heal 30% of your HP. So it's basically you have an auto heal on your units, and also your units are a lot stronger than they normally would initially. So if you have cleared those stages already, pat yourself on the back because you're gonna have an easier time clearing these. And I can say the same with the others. And also another part of this segment is joint battles. Joint battles are pretty important for some battles here. So for example, right now for Wednesday and Thursday, it is the key joint battle. Some people say this is skippable, which I would say it is up to your preference. But as for many of you who are just starting out, I don't recommend skipping any joint battles because these ones give you a hefty amount of rewards, especially to those at certain levels. Like the highest level possible gives you a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna tell you a few things here. It's like for one, the first join battle time slot will be usually starting around like 2 o'clock p.m. in the server time, but for my time zone it is 12 p.m., which is exactly lunchtime, and the joint battles usually last for 1 hour of the time period. So yeah. Anyways, think carefully which time zone suits well for you. Like there are two sessions. The first one is 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. in the PST, and then the second time slot is on 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. PST, Pacific time. I mean. So if you fall in line of any of these time zones, you will be able to get some time in on those joint battles, like whichever suits you well. As for me, it's really unlucky timing because both of these time slots that start in are usually on my meal time, like lunch and dinner. Man, I mean, I can tolerate the lunch one because I will be here at all times, but for dinner, no chance. I'll be away from my computer, eating dinner. So yeah, that those are the joint battles guideline, like guides of like what you should do, and of course, different joint battles usually provide different rewards and also different ways of clearing. So, anyways, always pay attention to what objectives they are, and then clear it with your team. But of course, for team battles, I recommend you to team up with someone that you trust because you do not want to deal with randoms because in most case scenarios they don't know, they have no idea what they're doing and possibly throw you those battles, and you do not want that because when you lose, you're not gonna get rewards whatsoever, and also your stamina that you use on those during battles will be wasted. So yeah, always like team up with someone that you trust, and also they're reliable, I would say. Although, luckily, I sometimes do appear as I do sometimes do appear in the joint battle queue. So like, if you really need like certain joint battles, I might be there, but most of the time I usually do it alone. So yeah, if you ever see my avatar like this, oh well, I shouldn't be showing that there because they're usually gonna be it's gonna be US ID, which I don't want to show because that's usually private information. So I don't want to do that. So if you ever see me with Sakura with the one of those avatar frames, let me see if I can find it. It's in here. In the story, let's see, login. If you ever see me with this avatar frame, okay, not this one, with this one right here, that you can tell that will be me most of the time. But if it's someone else with this same kind of setup, then yeah, it might be someone else. But anyways, If you ever consider doing joint battles, keep in mind. But however, I usually enable those at the highest difficulty possible. So if you're at a lower level, then I might not be able to help you. But as long as do jump in if I ever see one. So yeah, don't be afraid of that. I will join low levels if I need to, but only if I completed my own joint battles. So that way I don't waste my dailies attempts because you each player has 2 daily attempts on joint battles. So be sure to get those done every day. I would say. And finally, on number 5 is, of course, the last thing you should probably do at a certain level. Well, actually, before I do that, I should probably mention how you unlock joint battles. So, to unlock joint battles, make sure you clear Chapter 16 in Act 1. So, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is just beat that level, and then you're good to go. And now let's move on to the guild section. So, the guild is very important for the longevity of your journey. So if you haven't been in the guild as of right now, starting on team level 25, I will recommend you to join a guild. But for this guild that you see here, this is my current guild. I'm a leader of this guild. As of right now, my guild joining requirement is actually pretty strict, but there are actually other guilds that allow beginners to join. There are actually countless others, but be sure to join the ones that you believe are pretty active because you do not want to join a guild that ends up like hardly anyone on. You do not want to join that one because it won't benefit you in the long run. Because there's a good chance the leader wouldn't even care about resetting. But anyways, always join the guild that you believe is going to be active. But keep in mind when you leave the guild, you're gonna have to wait for exactly 24 hours before you join a new one. So be sure you choose wisely which guild you should join, because if you leave the guild, you will have to wait for one day to come back to another guild. And another thing is do some guild war sweeps every time when a new guild war session is up. And by the way, the guild wars that can be reset each week will be twice. So yeah, you'll have so the guild has 2 attempts of like doing guild war sweeps of like 2 times, as you can see here. As of right now, we're on the second half of the week. So yeah, right now this is a second refresh, at least for most guilds, that is. And also, while in the guild, there are actually a lot of benefits of being part of the guild. So like for one, you will be able to upgrade your roster much consistently than before, which is granted. And also, you do have access to a guild store, which will give you a lot of benefits here, like such as class material upgrades, some gold, and also some soldier training as well, and also some bonds materials. So yeah, all these stuff that you need, they're all here for you to buy. Well, of course, the guild sweep is important because you do need guild medals to get these, and you can exchange them for various stuff. You can get some runestones on this as well, at least once per month, and also 100,000. I think 10,000 gold. I think the amount on here, so you can buy this 10 times. Yeah, 10,000 gold. Yeah, that's actually a lot of gold, but it's actually well worth get. Actually, no, it wasn't 10,000. It was like 10 million gold. Whoops, I miscounted the math. My bad. 10 million gold sounds a lot if you think about it. Anyways, another thing about this skill store is that there's also this here, which nowadays there aren't any running at the moment. I mean, back then, this is the place where you can get yourself some additional controller points or challenge points, I would say. It's still nice to have, but as of right now, I don't see them running at the moment, which is quite sad to see. But hopefully in the future they will rerun this. But other than that, I think I'll leave it at that for now. So, anyways, as you can see here, I think it's already past like certain time, and now my stamina recovery is going nicely. And also another tip I didn't mention here. So don't sleep on your soldier training. And also for the tip of upgrading those class like those soldier classes, I would recommend you to upgrade one at a time, because if you spread your resources like crazy, you're gonna spread your resources too thin, and that was one of my mistakes I did in the past. So now, this is no longer an issue as for me, because I'm almost done with the training for all the class types. So I'm pretty much on the road to success, I would say. So yeah, this is the one tip I didn't even think about considering, but this is a bonus tip, by the way, for soldier training. Like, soldiers are actually the second half of your hero strength. So make sure you get these soldiers like at a level where you can work with them for the longevity of the game. And that's it from me. Hope y'all find this guide a bit helpful or informative. And I'll see y'all next time.